is Boruto, Naruto Next Generation. Last time, the invasion by Code and Ada has caused some trouble, despite the fact that Shikamaru actually crafted a brilliant plan thanks to the cooperation of Amado and the newly rebuilt Delta? Question mark? Reprogrammed? I'm still a little shaky on what exactly Delta is to a certain degree. Regardless, thanks to Ada's powers, nobody's able to move or do much of anything. Shikamaru, despite his great plan, is in a bit of a pinch. And with Amado, the most scared we've ever seen him, it's hard to tell what's going to happen next. So let's find out, shall we? Amado, just chilling like an old man should. Boruto Naruto Next Generation number 70, from the bottom of my heart. That's an interesting title. Alright, one big standoff. Gotta love how Delta's off in the corner just creaming her pants at the sight of Ada. Oh right, Shikamaru tried to finesse Ada, get her to come over to their side. Right, Shikamaru was making the smart guy play. Ada questions Shikamaru. Me? Come over to Konoha? Shikamaru says, that's right. Don't you think that'd be best? If you want to get closer to Kawaki. Ada doesn't respond at first, but then her eye activates. Code gets a little worried, and Shikamaru's shocked at Ada's eye. Code says, hey, what do you think you're doing? You better not be leaving me behind. And Ada then says, shush, Code. I have every right to consider this. Ooh. Shikamaru, though, is taken aback. Ada's left eye, he thinks, and Amado is sweating bullet. Oh. So is that how you know that Ada is, like, processing all the variables? Shikamaru thinks to himself as he sees Ada just standing there, menacingly. He thinks, what's she doing? Meanwhile, Naruto is right outside the door. He gets to the pin pad trying to activate it. And nope, it keeps denying him at every turn. He shouts out, damn it, Ino, the door won't open. But then Shikamaru talks to him mentally, saying, sorry, Naruto. It's to protect you guys from the enemy's jutsu. So could you just wait there for a bit? Naruto shouts, Shikamaru? You okay? What's going on? Shikamaru responds, mentally again, I don't have time to explain right now. It's a real delicate situation. Please don't interfere. Don't destroy the expensive lock system and force your way in here. The village's budget is already shrinking every year as it is. I'm sorry. Shikamaru, my god, dude. Even in a desperate situation, he's still thinking like a second in command. We ain't got money for this shit. This is the most expensive lock we have in this place. We do not have the money to replace this. I know you. You will destroy this shit. The replacement is not in the budget. Anyone who has ever had to budget anything knows how that goes. Oh, and then Sasuke and Boruto arrive on the scene as well, as Naruto is still shouting Shikamaru, hey! As Boruto cries out for his dad. Ooh. But Ada has Shikamaru's number, as she immediately speaks to him. The Hokage and the others are stuck outside. You told a colleague to lock the door to protect them from my ability? Shikamaru, of course, is stunned and thinks she knows what's going on outside? But how? And, of course, he looks at her left eye and is just like, I see. That left eye of hers, he thinks. But Amado communicates with him, again, telepathically, and tells him it's called the Senryengan. She can see what's happening anywhere in the world. The ultimate perverted technique. Shikamaru thinks, what? Amado thinks, furthermore, it's not limited to current events. By and large, she can view past occurrences too. Meaning you can't hide anything from her, for the most part. God, what a broken ability. And of course, Shikamaru thinks, unbelievable. Still, it seems that she can't overhear these conversations of ours, so she must not be able to peer all the way inside our heart. If we didn't have Ino's jutsu, it makes me shudder. Love that. I love the ability coming in clutch. At least there's some way around the ability. Ada then speaks. I'm surprised, to be honest. I had to be just another Kara remnant to you. I assumed you'd see me as an enemy, but you're right. There's no cause for hostility between me and Konoha. Huh, interesting. Shikamaru then responds, originally no, but now, if you continue helping Code, you will be considered Konoha's foe. Ada gazes down at Shikamaru. He continues on, Konoha or Code, think long and hard which side is the better pick. Meanwhile, Delta is still blushing, Amado still sweating, Code thinking about his options. Ugh, God. I love it, because, like, I've heard so many people respond to the fact that Code doesn't feel like the most intimidating character in this series. Ada, on the other hand, she feels like the dangerous one. Oh, we cut to Kawaki and Sumire. Kawaki seems to be thinking about a lot of things, but Sumire finally breaks the silence and says, but it's all good now, right? Since Boruto's okay. Kawaki looks over at Sumire. Another long pause. She then says, I mean, I don't know what happened between the two of you, but I'm sure you were forced to make painful decision, both of you. Kawaki looks at her, then he looks away. Another long pause. Oh, he then shows Sumire his karma. She's, of course, a little taken aback to see it. Kawaki then tells her, Amado, that bastard, he already restored it without my permission. Sumire is at a loss for words. Kawaki then continues, I think it was when he repaired... Oh no, it's Sumire saying, I think it was when he repaired your right forearm, because it was an extremely lengthy procedure. Kawaki pauses, and then he says, yet its return is something I strongly desired too. If I hadn't had it, Lord Seventh would be dead right now. Sumire doesn't know how to respond. Kawaki continues, it's the first time I was grateful to have it from the bottom of my heart. I realized that I need it. Ooh. Is that realization a good thing or a bad thing, I wonder? Sumire pauses and says, Kawaki, you thinking that might be playing right into his hand. Yeah, she's fully right. Because they don't know how far they should trust Amado, if at all. He's shady as all get out. Kawaki questions this response. Sumire then says, sorry, it's not like I have any proof or anything. It could just be irrational, groundless fear on my part, but I feel like the reason why Mr. Amado is so hung up on your karma is for his own purposes. I mean, that much feels obvious, but it's easier to trust what she's saying because she's spent so much time with Amado. It almost feels like Konoha itself is using Sumire's more naive nature to understand Amado a little bit. But, like, a hunch, that's not enough to really go on. But Sumire's about the only other person, one of the few people that Kawaki kind of trusts, so at least him being a little bit more dubious and not fully giving in to the idea that Amado did him a favor, that's good. Oof. Cut over to Code, using his finger to plunge further into Amado's shoulder as Amado cries out in pain, and Code shouts, quit stalling, Amado. Thanks to your stalling, things are moving in a weird direction. Just spill it. The command code. Restore my power. Amado cries out in pain, but he thinks to Shikamaru, Shikamaru, I can't take much more. Shikamaru thinks, hang in there, Amado. He won't kill you. If you die now, he'll never get his limiters rescinded. He'd be the one in trouble. And think, if you do remove them, then he really has no further need of you, and will kill you for sure. Though Amado thinks to Shikamaru, I think I'll die of shock before that. Shikamaru thinks to himself, damn it, what do we do? Ada then shouts to Code, oh no, Code, we need to retreat now. Hurry. Code questions, what's wrong all of a sudden? Ada tells him, Kawaki's coming. He'll be here soon. Shikamaru, Delta, and Amado are all in shock. Shikamaru then thinks over to Amado, telling him the only door to the room has been sealed shut, but Kawaki's got the Sukuna Hikona. He could be planning to shrink himself and enter via an air vent. Oh, and I think that's exactly what he's doing. Code then shouts, Gah, Kawaki, eh? I was so close. Shikamaru then communicates with Amado saying, that's right. Kawaki can nullify Code's claw marks too, so they fear getting their escape route cut off. Amado then responds to Shikamaru saying, "That's not all. There are exceptions to who Ada can entrap. One is a blood relative, and the other is Otsutsuki." Shikamaru is shocked and says, "What? You mean like Kawaki and Boruto? Ada's abilities won't work on them?" Amado says, "Correct." Shikamaru responds, "Why didn't you mention such critical intel sooner?" Amado responds, "If I had, you would have summoned Kawaki here right away, no? To have him fight them?" Shikamaru responds, "What's wrong with that? Wouldn't that be the best move for this situation we're in?" Amado says, "Give me a break. I can't afford to have Kawaki die. He almost died last time, and that was without Ada. Sorry, but I won't let you risk him like that." Shikamaru is shocked. "What are you saying?" Amado says, "Shikamaru, Kawaki's presence has gotta be a headache for you. I can't blame you. He was a seed of trouble to Konoha from the get-go. And now, not even Lord Hokage can check his powers any longer. If I was in your shoes, I'd be thinking it'd be most convenient if Code or Kawaki or both died fighting each other." Shikamaru's pissed at this statement. "You bastard! You're way out of line." Ino, moderating this and overhearing all of this, says, "Hey, both of you, this is no time to be arguing." Amado tells Shikamaru, "Code and Ada are planning to retreat. Let them. Don't even think about stalling them until Kawaki gets here. You'll get another chance to take them down. And it wouldn't hurt to give Kawaki and Boruto time to get stronger first." Shikamaru's pissed. That's obviously because he doesn't like the fact that Amado seems to be controlling the situation, for the most part. Oh, and Amado is slowly pulled through one of Kawaki's claw marks, much to Shikamaru's shock. Code says, "Can't be helped. We'll continue on the other side. I'd rather have avoided taking you to the hideout, but..." Shikamaru cries out for Amado as Ada tells Code, "Hurry, Code. Kawaki's almost here." Oh, and then they're stopped by Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu. He then communicates with Ino. "Ino, I won't last long. Where's Kawaki right now?" Code looks back at Shikamaru and says, "Fool. You want to die that badly?" Shikamaru questions Ada saying, "Come on, what's wrong with meeting Kawaki? Why are you so bashful?" Ada pauses, then addresses Delta, saying, "Delta dear?" Delta asks, "What is it, Ada dear?" Ada says, "As you see, I'm in a bind. Could you help me?" Shikamaru's taken aback, saying, "What? Uh-oh." Delta looks over at Shikamaru, gets up. Shikamaru says, "You're kidding, right? Delta?" She goes in, swings a kick at Shikamaru's head that he has no choice but to dodge, releasing the shadow possession jutsu, with Shikamaru thinking to himself, "Damn it," and then asks her, "What are you doing, Delta? Get a grip!" And Delta, still blushing, says, "But Ada said," as Ada moves through the claw mark, saying, "I'm sorry, Shika dear. We'll be parting ways here, but thank you so much for your enticing offer. Let's meet again. Thank you too, Delta dear. I love you." Delta, shook, says, "I love you too, Ada. Please come visit again." Code begins to go through the claw mark and says, "Despite how it looks, I really don't like provoking extra animosity, but Nara Shikamaru, I've decided to add your name to my retribution list, so prepare yourself." God damn it. I actually love that. Just like, you know what, Shikamaru, you've been a particular pain in my ass. So you know what? You're added to the list of people I'm especially going to kill. I love it too because people were saying before how Shikamaru just felt like a non-entity for the longest time. And now Shikamaru's just moved up to one of the top spots in Code's hit list because it's just like, you've been too much of a smartass. I'm killing you especially. And Shikamaru just shouts, "Get lost already and never show your mug here again." And Code does just that and disappears. And as soon as Code is gone, in comes Kawaki through the vent, back to normal size. Boom! Hits the ground, and he sees the claw marks. And he says, "Code's claw marks? That bastard. He was here." Shikamaru says, "Kawaki, apologies, but could you obliterate them with your Sukuna Hikona so he can never come invading here again. Kawaki then says, I need to ask Amado something. Where is he? Shikamaru responds, who knows, he might already be dead. Kawaki is taken aback by this, saying, what? Meanwhile, at Code's base, Amado finds himself confronted by Code, Daemon, Ada, and Bug, with Daemon leaning down to Amado, who is on the ground, saying, hey old man, long time no see. Amado thinks to himself, Code, damn it, Daemon too? Code then grabs Amado by the shirt, lifting him up, and he says, there's nowhere to escape now. Do you give up? Amado questions, what will happen after I rescind your limiters? Will you kill me? Code says, probably. Amado then says, how does that make sense? Who would go along with this if they know they'll be killed? Code responds, you'd be freed from pain and die in peace. Those merits are almost too good for you. Amado responds, you've got a tendency to go too far. What will you do if I die of shock while you're torturing me? You'd be the one in trouble. Code barks back, quit your yapping. I was irritated to begin with. Amado responds, indeed, which means the risk is even higher. Listen, I have a simple offer for you. I'll remove the limiters right away, without any resistance. In return, please, I beg you, just spare my life. Code responds, how pathetic, especially this late in the game. Don't you have any pride, Amado? Amado responds, sorry, but I have no interest in such utterly useless concepts. So, let's stop wasting each other's time, shall we? Code? Code pulls Amado in closer, and he says, you've always got a comeback, don't you? Just do it, geezer, quickly, instead of engaging in idle chatter. Alright, looks like he does it. Amado says, I guess the phrase, there's no dress code. Jesus Christ. Is that what it says in Japanese? I wonder. Then there's this massive puff of smoke around Code, blowing all the others back with Daemon saying, whoa. And nothing looks different about Code. His hair's just kind of sticking up a little bit more. Daemon says white, so I guess Code's hair turned white, like an Otsutsuki. Code looks down at his karma mark, grips his hand. He says, it's nice, feeling like I can't lose to anyone. And then Code steps towards Amado saying, forgive me, Amado. Your wound hurts, doesn't it? I feel good. So let me free you this instant from your suffering. As he lifts up his hand, transforming it into claws. Ooh boy, Amado might have made the wrong choice on this one. Does he have a contingency plan? What happens now? Amado's in the hands of the villains? He might end up dead? Is there some way for Kawaki to follow them potentially? And will that even do anything against the powered up Code? Just how dangerous has Code become with his limiters released? Like, Amado has to have a plan. He's not stupid enough to just let this go. And what about Ada? How deeply did she consider Shikamaru's offer? I know, something's definitely up here. And how compromised has Delta become too? What is Kawaki looking to find out from Amado? Just what he's up to? Is that all there is to it? There's a lot of questions here. Like, the real question is, how much should we be hoping that Amado lives? Because if he dies, potentially his machinations go with him. But is it potential that we lose out on a great asset at that? I mean, the whole thing about this entire series has been how technology is a plus. The technology of the ninja world is needed. And Amado has been such a major plot point. I can't see them doing away with him just yet. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this is the end of Amado? Or maybe just the beginning? What does he have planned for Kawaki? It's still very hard to tell. And has Code's power truly been unleashed? Or is there a catch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. Or don't. I ain't your daddy, but I still love you like one. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din and hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.